When the apocalypse comes, how long does it take for someone to lose their mind? Today, this pixel art style game offers an answer. This video doesn't contain overly frightening images, but there may be some unsettling scenes. The game begins with a 7-day countdown, followed by the man waking up in bed. Today isn't a day of idleness for him. He has his own plan. Each day of the week, he has written a to-do list, and now we are here to help with today's 3 tasks. He steps outside, only to see his piece of land floating in an endless, dark universe. But he isn't surprised. He goes about his tasks as usual. He picks up a watering can, seeming quite content about what he's about to do. In the yard, he fills the can with the little water he has left and waters his vegetable garden, thinking about how essential this garden is as his only food source. Then he picks up some trash in the yard, enjoying these small tasks as if the end of the world never happened. The final task for the day is to fix the damaged roof with a hammer. After finishing his list, he heads to bed, falling asleep almost immediately. Living alone makes his dreams strange. He often sees other people on Earth in them, yet finds their routines dull. But does he find his own life interesting? On the 6th day, his tasks change completely. He starts by picking an apple from the tree and digging up a carrot from the garden. Back inside, he chops and mixes them into a salad. It looks unappetizing, but from his self-talk, we gather it's been a while since he last ate meat, or maybe he's a vegetarian. After eating, he decides to paint in the yard, one of his few enjoyments. But what does his art mean? He paints a vast universe, dotted with rare red stars. Is he depicting the endless void of space, or expressing inner loneliness? Either way, he's pleased with his work and hangs it up at home. The last task for today is to weed the garden. After finishing, he drifts off to sleep again, reflecting on dreams that always leave him feeling unsettled. On the 5th day, his routine is disrupted when he's woken by a strange noise. His plans are derailed, so he just writes "solve the noise" on his to-do list. Outside, he hears a voice greeting him. Following the sound to his small cabin, he finds an old radio broadcasting about the apocalypse. It's jammed with static, making it impossible to turn off. Frustrated, he decides to smash it with a hammer, ignoring the person on the broadcast talking directly to him. With the radio silenced, he moves on to the other 2 tasks, exercising and weeding. Kicking a soccer ball around, he accidentally loses it, but surprisingly feels happy about it. While weeding the garden, he aggressively strips leaves from every plant, taking out his frustration on his only food source. He's started to lose touch with reality, putting his hope in seedlings sprouting in the garbage bin. After finishing, he heads to bed. On the 4th day, he puts on a hat, grabs a rope, chops some wood, and builds a scarecrow named Thomas for his garden. He lights the fireplace, picks up a guitar with a missing string, and substitutes it with fishing line, laughing strangely. As he strums, his yard fills with music, though no one is there to listen. That night, he mutters nonsensical things about his dreams. By the next day, reality seems as incomprehensible as his dreams. On the 3rd day, he finds Thomas missing and a strange blue bug lying in the yard. Unfazed, he continues searching for his favorite book. He seems increasingly unhinged, denying he would eat the book's torn pages, but also implying he might if food runs out. In the trash, he finds bits of rotten meat sprouting, exactly as he hoped. Today, he paints his roof blue, not because he has the right paint, but because he believes it's blue in his mind. Next, he takes a knife to the bug, talking nonsense as he cuts it up and mixes its flesh with soil for his garden. He goes to bed eagerly, anticipating tomorrow's harvest. On the 2nd day, he senses something unusual in the yard. Thomas has reappeared, and the blue bug, now somehow alive, talks to him. In his confused state, he misinterprets the bug's words, thinking it wants him to end its suffering. He smashes it with an axe and turns to his tasks. First, he stabs the scarecrow, then digs up a mound in the yard, uncovering human bones. Instead of being disturbed, he greets the bones like an old friend, laughing with strange delight. After completing his list, he goes to sleep. On the final day, his list is blank. It turns out the 7-day countdown was just one cycle in his endless days in this apocalyptic loop. Having long lost track of time, he only makes lists to keep himself sane. But today is a special day, Harvest Day. His garden has grown into unspeakable flesh, juicy and ripe, which makes him drool with excitement. Surrounded by his strange living food, he no longer feels lonely. To him, there's no apocalypse or alien invasion. As long as these small friends are with him, he's content. This marks the end of the game. Based on certain details, here's my take on the story. Aliens invaded, shattering Earth into fragments. The man's house wasn't even his own. He was staying with a friend, Mike, when the world ended. As aliens devoured livestock, all meat disappeared. The aliens were peaceful but couldn't communicate. Desperate for meat, the man finally killed and ate his friend, buried his remains, and later grew new, edible life forms. By the end, he's completely lost his sanity. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out.